At MrMaple, every package that we do is important to us.
We take every package from MrMaple serious. Let's do this. Here's your package, little girl.
Thank you.
Hey y'all, I'm Matt, and welcome to the MrMaple Show.
And I'm Tim. We greatly appreciate you watching today's video.
Hey, like, subscribe, and share. We always appreciate you sharing our videos with your garden friends. It's one of the best ways for our channel to grow. Today we're going to be discussing one of our most commonly asked questions, and that's what to do once you receive your package from MrMaple.com. Now, this may seem like a simple and funny question to some of you experienced gardeners, but for a lot of our customers, this may be their first Japanese maple. And so we want to give you some basic instructions for what you can do as soon as your package arrives.
We get this question all the time. And there's some really simple things you can go through in steps to unboxing your plant, taking care of it, so that it's going to thrive and do well for you in your garden. That's what we want you to do. We want our trees that we put so much work in here at the nursery to thrive and turn into beautiful Japanese maples in your garden.
Okay, so you've received your package now. What's the next step to do? Let's go ahead and get this tree out of the box and go through what to do during each step of getting a package from MrMaple.
Remember, this tree has been in package and shipment, and we want to get it out of the box as quickly as we can here and make sure that it starts getting acclimated to your garden.
Now, our boxes actually have a side that says open to them. It's really easy. We staple the other side of the box, and there'll be 3 pieces of tape typically on the side to open. So all you have to do is cut that tape, and the tree's going to come out the right direction. Opening it from the stapled side could cause some damage. We make it a little harder intentionally that way from the open side, so the tape side's the best way to go when opening our package.
So you just go from the side of the box that says open, and we've got a knife here, but you can use a pair of scissors, you can use a pair of garden pruners, or sometimes you can even just use a key that you've got from your house. And all we're going to do is we're going to cut these 3 pieces of tape. And once you cut these 3 pieces of tape, our box is really simple for unboxing. They're not tied in there. They're in a way that you can get them out very simply and easily without damaging the plant.
So once you open all the sleeves there, our box opens right up to reveal your tree. And here we have a blood good that's shipped to you. Now this tree is going to be in its bag, and so you're going to want to remove the bag and water that tree pretty soon. Our trees could ship up to 2 weeks, especially dormant, and have no issue. We actually treat our Japanese maples with Nature Shield before they go out, and that's an anti-decusant that gives them an extra protected layer during that shipping time. So we think of everything we can to make sure this tree comes right out of the box looking as pristine as possible for you. And even in the summer heat, we ship every single day, so we take every step possible. Now your tree was watered before it shipped, but you're definitely going to want to get it out of the bag next and get some water on it.
Now, while your tree was watered during it shipped, it starts to dry out through the process of being shipped because it's using up the water that we've already watered it with.
And we just tie these bags on lightly, so all you have to do is remove these. They're actually produce bags, so an easy thing to do is go ahead and remove that, and your tree is going to be ready to go on to the next step, which is the watering. So this tree's been in shipment for a while. Let's go ahead and get it watered. So Carolina's watering in our blood good here.
And what we want to do is water this plant thoroughly and let it get completely soaked and then let it dry out. Often the mistake people make is continually to overwater. And she's doing a fantastic job of letting this plant get thoroughly soaked. And that's exactly what you want to do with this plant, is get it thoroughly soaked and then start to let it go through that dry out process again.
Now you're going to notice our tree comes with a disc on top of it often. You can keep that disc or throw it away. That disc is just there for weed retention at the nursery. So it stops the weeds from getting there in the plant as easily, and it holds in a little bit of soil during shipment. At this point, you can either discard the disc or you can use it to keep some weed prevention in your own garden.
Now we've got this tree watered thoroughly, and now we're going to take this plant and go put it in the shade until we're ready to plant it in a garden or to put it in a container.
Now make sure to put your Japanese maple in a shady spot. This may seem like an overly simple step, but you don't want that new tree sitting in sun. It's been in a little bit of shade in the box during shipment, and full sun right away may burn your plant. You need to slowly acclimate it to extreme lights. Definitely even trees that can handle a good bit of sun will need to get slowly reacclimated from being in the box too heavy sun. So start out with a porch or a shade setting, get it in a little bit more shade, and then gradually acclimate that tree to more sunlight.
And you got to remember, if you chose a variety that can handle the sunlight conditions, it can handle the sunlight, but in a container, that pot may be heating up a little bit. And so it may dry out quicker and get burned a little bit more being in a container than once it's in the ground. And remember, this plant is in a container until you put it in the ground and it gets established. That means you're going to have to take care of it and really nurture this baby along until it gets established and it can start taking care of itself. So keep that in mind, that now you've got a living plant in your garden, and this is going to require some care from you. Now, we make it easy on MrMaple.com. You can go to MrMaple.com and click on maples, and then about Japanese maples. Underneath that, there's maple care. And we do all types of pruning, fertilizing, planting. All that information's right there on MrMaple.com. So you can go and get the full gambit of what to do if you're beginning gardening with Japanese maples.
So we don't put a care sheet in every single box for good reason. It uses up a lot of paper, but as Tim was saying, we have that on MrMaple.com. You can find it really easily, simple care instructions. Our care sheet actually comes with videos, so you'll get the best instruction possible on how to care for your Japanese maple. Definitely be conscious, especially in those summer months in the pot, that your pot could blow over and dry out pretty quickly. So when you're putting that somewhere in the shade, you want to put it somewhere that's not going to dry out right away, or you want to put it somewhere that it's not going to blow over and dry out right away. Definitely don't set it in a disc of water. That's an easy way to cause issues, is putting a Japanese maple in standing water. Even though they've been in shipment, simply watering them and letting the water drain through is by far the best method.
And if you follow these instructions and you follow our care sheets on MrMaple, you're going to have a Japanese maple that's going to thrive and do well in your landscape and garden. So I really hope you enjoyed this video on what to do about Japanese maples when they arrive to your door.
So you've got your tree out of the box, especially in those summer months. We're actually shooting this video in mid to late July. Be advised that something like Bloodgood, which is traditionally a red, may be a little bit more green coming out of the box, just because those lighting conditions even in the box. So you'll see darker reds be a little bit less colorful this time of the year, and some of that's because we're keeping them in heavily shaded conditions here at the nursery because we're watering a whole bunch of trees. So that's one of the other reasons why you want to slowly acclimate them for light.
Now, this plant may also look slightly different than it did in the photos. And that's because this is a very young plant that is going to be maturing and looking like what you saw in those photos. It's a grafted clone of what you saw in those photos. So this plant, as it ages, it'll start developing more and more like that. Also, on the grafts on Japanese maples, these are young grafts. As this plant ages, that's going to become less and less prominent. We often get questions about it because people see cuts down there and they're like, was this cut? Was this damaged? That's the grafting process of where these Japanese maples were grafted, and that's how we produce an exact clone of these different selections. So don't worry about that, and as this tree ages, the difference and the cut that you see down here at the graft will become less and less.
So at this stage, let us know if something's wrong. So if there's something that got damaged in shipment, FedEx can make mistakes, anybody can make mistakes. If there's something wrong with your order, simply email us at mrmaplequestions@gmail.com, and we'll put that right here, and let us know. We're more than willing to fix. We do like to know within 3 business days of your order if something's come out less than desirable, and let us know that so we can go ahead and get right on fixing that for you. We're very upfront about that, and we want to make it as easy as possible in that process. But we do ask for people to send us pictures so that we can make sure that what's going on isn't completely normal. So we like to take a look at that and go, well, that's just being a little bit green coming out of the box. That's typically what it would look like this time of the year. And so we'll verify and see what's happening, but we're more than gracious on making sure we fix things if something's damaged in shipment. Now, if we've done everything right past this stage, don't forget to go and give us a good review. Go and give us a good review on Dave's Garden or Google Reviews. We greatly appreciate that as well.
We greatly appreciate y'all as customers. We appreciate y'all learning what to do with your Japanese maples, and really appreciate you too taking care of these beauties we put so much work and effort into here at our nursery, so they'll do well in your garden.
Hey, and those care sheets aren't just for our customers. If you're watching this and you hadn't ordered from MrMaple, you can definitely go to the MrMaple care sheets there on our website. We do this YouTube channel to help broaden knowledge for Japanese maples, and we'll be doing planting and care instructions on these as well. But our care sheet comes, like I said, with videos on how to take care of those maples. So you're going to get step-by-step processes as well as good instructions. So we hope that helps you and gives you more confidence in growing Japanese maples. As always, like, subscribe, and share to our channel. And sign up for our weekly emails on MrMaple.com.
Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.
Mr. Maple.